This video has been a long time coming. Salutations friends, my name is Brianna Sukiyama-Bond, otherwise known as No Ordinary Scholar, and A Siege of Lost Souls. There's a good chance you may not know what this book is. It's a indie book by S.C. Stokes that I read in 2020. I had originally gotten the first book for free off of Free Bookseat, which if you don't have a lot of money, and you should be reading indie books. It's just signing up. They literally send you an email with like 12 free books in genres that you pick out every single day. I have like 600 books in my Kindle library because of this thing, and it's kind of a problem, but like also definitely something you should check out. Got the first book. It took the halfway point for me to get into it, but once I got into it, I immediately purchased the second book. And I read the second book, streamed both of those actually on one of my channels. I streamed them on. One thing that I did talk about in the second book was this whole thing about how one of the dudes was spying on the like head priest, the prelate as they call him. I don't know if that's a real word. I'm not religious. Sorry if I'm making it sound so foreign if it's real. But the dude's spying on the prelate, and he comes to the conclusion that the prelate is conspiring against the king, is what he says. And I said in that stream, I need to do a whole ass video about how that's absolutely incorrect and that's not what's going on. Guess what a bitch hasn't done in at least a year? It's been at least a year since I was supposed to make this video. Children! 2021, new city, new body of land. We're doing the video. To start, I think we need to give everybody a quick refresher. I'm gonna do a little reading. So you know where I'm at, and we can all be on the same page here. The prelate's words burst through the opening. The king is leaving Valar defenseless. Those undead beasts almost captured Belnair, and now he's taking the army and sailing to Sevalorn. Will be overrun. Sevalorn, a voice said, its booming tone reverberated through the chamber. Sven could feel the voice as much as he heard it. Yes, master, the prelate answered. What does he want in Sevalorn? The voice demanded. The prelate paused. I don't see how that matters. He's leaving your children defenseless. It's unacceptable. If those creatures return, we'll be helpless. Do not presume to counsel me, prelate. I can replace you with a thought, the voice declared. The mirror glowed with a golden light. Carantis fell to his knees. All father, no, I meant no offense. It's just what? I asked you a question. What does the king want in Sevalorn? Carantis trembled. Something about the undead horde. They believe the necromancer lurks in Sevalorn. The Allfather paused before answering. Then let them come. Nothing but death awaits them in Sevalorn. But what of Valar? Without them, we're defenseless. You'll have no need of them to protect you when I come to my glory, so do not doubt me, child. Ready, my people, for my coming. Do not depend on the strength of men for your salvation, the Allfather said. The prelate bowed his head. Yes, master, and learn what you can of their intentions. These fools freed Apollos from his exile. Who knows what damage they may yet wreak. Carantis wrung his hands together as sweat beaded on his brow. I know they sail for Kashish, master. Kashish, you say? The Allfather replied slowly. Intriguing. Keep your ears open, Carantis. Of course, Carantis said, his relief evident in his voice. Master, may I ask, why did you grant their son passage to the Celestial City? You may ask, but my will is my own, the father replied. But he doesn't even believe. Why allow him to trespass on sacred ground? I hope you're not presuming to counsel me again, the voice replied, the sharp edge returning. Carantis bowed his head. No, master, not at all. Good. Suffice to say it, I want to keep a much closer eye on him. Carantis nodded. Of course, master, forgive me. A blinding glare filled the room. When it faded, the mirror was still once more, no longer radiating the glorious light that it had been emitting. The visitor was gone. Could the unseen being have truly been the Allfather? His voice had a power about it that shook Sven to his core. As concerning as the being's presence was, his message, Sirion had walked into a trap. Tristan had been right. The prelate had his own agenda and a powerful ally the king needed to know at once. And then you skip forward a little bit to where Sven is talking to Vera, his love interest. Oh my god, I love that couple so much. But he's talking to her after she catches him spying, and he says, do you know what the prelate is scheming? It's not my place to question the prelate, Vera replied. Don't change the subject. Sven raised his hands. He conspires against the king. I heard it with my own ears. Did you though? Did you really? We're gonna break this down and talk about why this is absolutely just not what happened. Like, we all get it, but we're just gonna go through it, break it down first. We're breaking it down for Sven. Sven needs to know. We're breaking it down for Sven. Sven needs to know. The first thing the Prelet says is the king is leaving Valar defenseless. We're gonna be overrun. He's scared that they like literally just left a battle that almost killed all of them, and now the king is going to take all of the soldiers somewhere else. What is this? Not scheming. The priest, a priest, is praying or speaking, trying to communicate with his god about the fact that he fears all of his people are about to die. Is that not how religions work? I'm sorry. Is that not what religions do? Like, I understand it can be a little like jarring to like hear that he might actually be contacting the god, but Sven isn't 100% sure that that's actually the Allfather. He's just like, he has a powerful ally that he's saying all these things to. As far as the Prelet is concerned, the Prelet probably fully believes that this is like his god. A, I doubt he is expecting anyone to be listening, so why would he call him like by some nickname? And B, I imagine he's like, actually, if he's religious, he's not going to intentionally refer to someone as his god's name when it's not his god, you know? So you have this priest praying and trying to contact his god because he thinks all of his people are about to die. That really, that seems like it lines up. That seems like an appropriate thing for them to do. Again, I'm not religious, so correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm making stuff up without putting words in your mouth, let me know. Number 2, we have 2 things that are gonna come off of this next one. So the Allfather says, let them come to Sevlorn. Only death awaits them. Yes, he's telling this god your plans, which might throw you off, I guess, but again, it's a priest talking to his god. That's how that works, you know? And then you also have him, like, even though he says that, it's not a threat. Like, yes, he is saying only death awaits them in Sevlorn, but he's not going to kill them himself, anything like that. He's just saying only death is waiting there for them, which is like, I take it to mean that he does not believe that them going directly to the heart of the like zombie apocalypse is going to be something that they can survive. That's about how I read it as. Again, that seems like something you would expect from like maybe a priest or psychic or something like that, to hear from the god or the universe or whatever, and he sent visions or predictions of what's gonna happen in the future. But it's still in this case a prediction as opposed to a threat of him enacting violence against them, which to my understanding, like, the Prelet didn't want y'all to leave to begin with. You wouldn't listen to him. You're probably not going to listen to him now. So why does that feel so antagonistic right now? Granted, this god does come off a little bitchy, but it still doesn't read to me as a threat. The Allfather is not creating the event that is going to kill the people. They were already gonna do this. Despite the fact that Prelet already said not to, they're still gonna go. The Allfather is just saying they're not gonna survive. I do not think that they're going to survive. That's all that's happening. So imagine someone comes to you and they're like, I'm gonna jump off a bridge without like a bungee cord or nothing. I'm gonna jump off a bridge and I'm gonna fly. And you're like, you're gonna die. And they're like, nah, I'm gonna fly. And then you go, you talk to like someone you feel close to that you wanted to talk to vent, to try and like seek some sort of consolement, and you're like, he's gonna jump off the bridge and die, and they're like, yeah, he's gonna jump off the bridge and die. Is this other party, is Amy gonna be like, yo, bless you? Is Amy gonna come and be like, yo, you plotting against me or what, bro? It doesn't make sense, the fact that he took this phrasing of the situation as scheming, as plotting to me. The last thing that we're gonna cover is this last part where he says, and learn what you can of their intention, those fools freed Apollos from his exile, who knows what damage they may yet wreak. y'all kind of brought upon the end of days to people, you know? Humans are the reasons the zombies are showing up, so it makes sense that the dude that's cleaning up your messes really wants to like make sure you don't keep making things worse. Especially with him saying it the way he did. He's literally saying you guys have literally brought like destruction, death and destruction to everyone. Let me know what they're doing so that way they don't keep fucking everything over. Like, we all agree that the thing of like releasing Apollos, everyone agrees that that is a bad thing. To my understanding, everyone agrees that that's a really, really bad thing. But when this guy says like, oh, let me make, like, I as the Allfather, I as the person who knows so much more about everything than these other people, because he's literally a fucking god, keep me in the know so that way I can make sure they don't make the situation worse. Scheming. How dare you like release our intel? What? Especially because they literally approached him when they're talking about Syrian being allowed into the celestial city. They approached this god to try and get help with the whole situation. That's literally something that they've done. But now that is the Prelet approaching for assistance and backup through his own discussions with this god. Now it's scheming, now it's plotting. Like, I just don't, Sven, my dude, I think you're being a little jumpy. I think you're being a little dramatic. I think you're in the wrong here. Let me know if you disagree, but I truly do not see this as any form of scheming. So honestly, what I think happened is my homeboy Sven is super unaware of religious practice, the purpose of praying, stuff like that, and is super thrown off by the fact that it's not just like something being thrown out into the universe, it's being immediately responded to. In this time of like great war with cosmic things, he immediately gets on the defensive and starts way more drama than is necessary. Do I think that the book is going to treat this like it's actual like shit going down? Absolutely. But I think in real life, Sven, you're here, I'm gonna need you down here, buddy. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Subscribe and watch some vlogs over on the Ordinary Vlogs channel. That would be absolutely dope. And don't forget that I do have a Patreon over there. You get a bunch of free goodies, especially when you get the $5 tier. You can get early access to my YouTube videos, the notes that I do on my book streams, as well as these books right here. These books you can purchase on Amazon.com for the Kindle or as a print copy, but if you subscribe over to my Patreon, you can get a copy of the book through the pre-release premieres that I'm going to be doing over there. If any of that sounds good to you, go check that out. Links are down below. And until next time, valedictions, friends.